Oh my gosh, another episode of On the Road with Loan Signing System. I'm so excited to have Tracy here from Florida. Really quickly before Tracy gets into her story, she is a $7,000 a month signing agent. And Tracy, how does that sound?
Pretty amazing.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm just so proud of you of where you've
thank
come
you.
from to where you are today, Tracy. I'm so excited to share your story specifically. You know, everyone needs to have really cool stories and inspirational stories, and yours is as inspirational as anyone that we have had on this program. So, Tracy, let's just kind of get out of the gate here. From $0 to $7,000 a month in signing agent income a month. Let's talk about your story though, and how you've gotten to that point. So, the first question I always lead with on these shows is, how come you chose to be a signing agent?
Well, I'm a single mom, so I needed to find something that I could do and be flexible with my schedule so that I could still be a mom. You know, I like to go to the field trips. I just was asked to be the room mom for my daughter's first grade class, so I don't know how I'm going to manage that, but I said yes because I have a job where I can make my own schedule. And that's what being a loan signing agent, allows me to do.
I love it. I love it. So, let's talk about being a single mom, because I know there are single moms watching this right now
Hmm.
who, go through whatever emotions and experiences that you go through as a single mom. And, I want to kind of talk to maybe some single moms out there as far as, you know, what it takes, what you go through as a single mom, and how being a signing agent kind of incorporates in that.
Well, I think the first thing is that you have to be super patient. I always say patience is a superpower because I've worked a lot with direct clients recently, and I have to turn down a lot of business because I've got to go pick up my child at school, you know, or I have to get her to school, or I can't take her to school because she's sick, or I can't do an after-hour signing because there's no one to take care of her, at the last minute. So I have, fortunately, I have some direct clients who I've done a good job of getting to know them personally, and so they kind of know my story, and they really want me to do their closings for them, and so they work around they try to work around my schedule as much as they possibly can, to make sure that I can be at the closing table, and so that I can, put food on the table for my munchkin, for myself.
I love it. If you don't mind, first and foremost, I want to say how proud I am that, you've taken what you've learned and you've applied it and created those relationships. And like you said, like they work around your schedule because they know who you are. And Tracy, you're such an amazing person that they're fortunate to have you as a signing agent. And I think that they also feel that because that's why they work around. So I want to say how proud I am that you've been able to create these relationships, because, I teach it's about relationships. But I heard something in there that, if you don't mind sharing, and is your story, because I think what makes these interviews really cool is that everyone has a unique story and a journey, and whatever your story is, Tracy, you've come on top. You have a $7,000 a month signing agent business that you own on your own, that's around your schedule. So I think you're winning. So if you maybe want to share that story, I think I would love to hear it, and I'm sure others would too.
Okay. Well, first let me just say that I'm doing this 7,000. I'm not working full time. You know, this is just when I can do it, I do it. Right. So the story. So my daughter's only 6. And so when she was born, just right after she was born, this may get a little heavy, so bear with me. I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She was a few months old. So I spent several years, since she's been born, she doesn't know, of course, that mommy was sick. Um, but so I was in and out of treatment and remissions, and then not, the whole cancer deal back and forth. And so then ultimately I had a stem cell transplant, which was successful. I have a donor, so I have 2 DNAs in me, which is a little bit crazy.
Awesome.
So I have a donor, they used to call it bone marrow transplant, but stem cell. So that I just had my 4-year anniversary for that. So thank you. My doctor said I don't see why I need to see you again. So that's a
You're a
recent thing that they just
full-blown
told me.
cancer
Yeah,
survivor. That
yeah,
is the most heartwarming thing I've ever heard. That's so
yeah.
awesome.
So, but people don't tell you when, you don't really know this about cancer, is that it's not just that you're sick and that you're trying to survive and live, is that it's sort of a ripple effect. I had a restaurant, 17 years, very successful, very comfortable living. And because I couldn't be there, it sort of imploded. So I lost my restaurant. I'd put every penny into it, so I lost my entire life savings. I lost everything. So I went from the top of the mountain all the way to, to the bottom. And then, of course, I'm a single parent, so I lost my marriage too. So, so I lost everything, and I had to figure out, what the heck am I going to do? Right? Here I am, I'm alive, and my life has just imploded completely. So I actually have a background from a long time ago. I'm a little bit older probably than you think, but I have a real estate background. So I just decided that I had a notary commission as a part of one of my real estate jobs. And so I just decided on a whim to just renew my notary commission, right? So because I'm just grabbing at straws, I've got to figure out what the heck am I going to do? I'm living at my parents' house, right? Like, what the heck? And so because I had renewed that and had gone on to NNA, then all of a sudden this guy named Mark Wills with the LSS system, starts popping up in my Facebook feed. I'm like, what the heck? Who is this guy? It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just scrolling, trying to figure out what am I going to do. And I just decided to get your program without really even, like, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't even do the research. I just dove in because I thought, what is there to lose? What do I have to lose? Right? So I did it. And this was in last year in March. And then I didn't get my first signing because I was dealing with trying to sell a restaurant that was worth nothing now, and I had no income, trying to take care of she was almost 4 at the time. It was a hot mess, right? So I didn't get my first signing until I think July, and then I got another one in August, and then in September, all of a sudden I did 2,000.
Well, before we get into the journey, I want to say I've never really heard your story front to end. You tell me pieces of it, but to hear, I'm getting a little messy, but to hear, like, where you've come from to where you are, I mean, Tracy, I'm honored to know you, man. Sorry, I'm kind of losing a little bit.
Well, listen, Mark, it's kismet. I really believe that. I think that, you coming on my feed at 3 a.m. that one morning, I just jumped and did it. And it took me a long time to really get the business going because I just could do it a little bit at a time because I was a hot mess. I was really never expected to be in the situation that I was in. But my personality is such that if I decide to do something, don't get in my way. So I knew that I was going to make it happen. It just needed to take time.
And I think you kind of hit what I was about to approach, and that is, your attitude of, I'm going to do what it takes, and I'm just going to go all in. And I mean, Tracy,
I survived, Mark. I'm alive. I need to figure out how to honor that.
Oh, that's good. That's powerful.
So to honor being alive and surviving, I want to create financial freedom for myself and my daughter so that I can be there for her and be there for myself, and enjoy this life. So.
And I think what's amazing is, you understand and that this industry can get you to that financial freedom point. And,
Absolutely.
I tell everybody as much as I can, like, this business can be as big as you want it to be. You can scale it from an individual signing agent to a signing service, and you can really do it. And the fact that, like, you came from a restaurant industry, which, everybody, glorifies and sees, oh, you're a restaurant owner, to someone who's like, look, I can now see my future in the signing agent industry, I think is a powerful story within itself. You're goal isn't to relaunch another restaurant. It is, look, I can see myself building out, a signing service, and I can see myself building out like you said, you're doing $7,000 a month part-time. I mean, Tracy, you were so freaking inspiring that I don't even know where to go with this, and I'm never speechless.
Well,
So,
listen, the thing too is that I did the math, before we got on this call, and I estimate that I turn down about 2,000 a month, because I'm starting to get a lot of direct business hits on SnapDocs. So I'm losing a lot of business just because I've made a conscious decision to be there for my daughter, and because that's what I want. I want to be her mom.
I mean, the fact that you could make $7,000 a month and be there for your daughter, I don't know what a better business in America is.
Yes.
Than being
I think you can make it whatever you want it to be. That's the key. I mean, I've seen your students and interviews that you've done, and some of them are doing $1,000 extra a month, and that's, success has a lot of different colors, right? So if somebody wants, to do that vacation money, it's perfect, right?
Right.
But if you're a single mom and, when I grow up, I want to be like Robin, Colorado, I always say that.
You are so inspiring. The fact that you're a cancer survivor too, your baby girl is your most important thing. And turning down, I mean, what's really cool is that, you've made a conscious decision of like, I don't need to make $150 right now because that is less important than being with my daughter at that moment. And,
right.
And as a mom, that says just how amazing you are, that you are putting your daughter before money, and you've made a calculation.
It's hard. It's really hard to say no. Like every time, it just is hard, really hard for me to do. But then I'm glad I did it, as soon as I'm with her.
I'm a very recent parent, as you know.
Right.
And it's cliche, but it does go by so quick. You can never get that time back, and I'm learning that the hard way. You know what I mean? I put so much into what I do for you guys, but I know I get it. Like, so my point is I resonate with it. Like literally you can't get that time back. And the fact that you value family over money, and I always tell you guys family first, that's what I believe. And that you're literally putting money where your mouth is on that mantra, that family first. So Tracy, let me just end with this part of the conversation. Geez, you are amazing. You're woman. I am so glad that you're able to share your story with everybody today. So thank you. So let's kind of continue the next part, because I know that you're a busy girl and a busy businesswoman. So let's keep moving the conversation forward with, let's talk about this fact that, I've been an LSS student or a signing agent for roughly a year now. You went from 0 signings, you said, I think I want to kind of circle back to the conversation we almost went into, and that's kind of your journey, because I want people to be inspired that, as we have some students who are doing $5,000 right out of the gate. There's some students who take 3 years. And there's some students where you take a year to get where you're at, or 10 months or 8 months. So let's just kind of talk people through that journey to let them know that, there's no, like you said, there's no such thing as a right or wrong way of building a signing agent business. So the first, you got the loan signing system course, the first 90 days, how many signings do you think? Let's kind of walk people through that part of your journey.
So I printed out my Notary gadget.
Okay.
Okay. So in April, I got it wrong. In April, I did 1. My revenue in April 2018 was $85.
Okay.
Okay. In May, it was $45 the following month. June, 325, July, 1.3K, August, 2.3K, September, 3.6K, October, 4.5, November, 4.7, December, 5.6. But I think, I do pay attention to the, to the group on Facebook. And I do see that a lot of people get frustrated, that it takes time, that SnapDocs takes a while to get going, and it takes a while to get those relationships with, your direct clients. And I know that it's hard, but that's called building a business.
That's right.
But I come from a restaurant business where you have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars and you don't profit for a year.
Mm-hmm.
You're living on credit cards, right? We've all kind of been there probably, but So for this business, I'm just blown away. I have to be honest with you. I'm just completely blown away that there's almost no overhead. I mean, there's no employees. There's no, it's just amazing to me how cut and dry and simple it is. All you have to do is be patient and do the farming, right?
That's right.
And just slowly, like you said in one of your lives, just slowly plant the seeds. It's all you can do, and be patient and just know that it will work. I mean, I think that's the main thing, is you just have to trust and know that it's going to work. But you have to be patient. And that's the hardest part.
What I think is really cool though is the perspective, right? So many signing agents come in here without any previous business experience, which makes it one of the best industries ever because you can enter with zero business experience.
Yeah.
But the business owners, who are already business owners before they start their own signing agent business, have a different perspective on what it takes to build a business, right? So
Yeah.
you can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in the restaurant industry and hope that you are profitable after year one. Talk about patience, man.
I mean, and risk.
Yes.
It's crazy. There's no risk being a loan signing system signing agent. I mean, you pay for the training, right? I mean, you put gas in your car. You buy paper. What else? You have to buy a printer that's $150. It's like blows my mind. I'm like, I mean, the bottom line is huge. It's huge.
And it's really cool to hear it from a former different business owner coming in, because there's a lot of people who get frustrated after like 30 days of I'm not getting business. And I'm like, be patient, but you come from that. So it's really cool. This interview is like really mind blowing for a numerous amount of reasons, getting the perspective from a former restaurant owner to now a signing agent about how amazing this business is. And so thank you for sharing just your insight on your entire life. And I think it's going to really help a lot of people. Tracy, the more we go along on this interview, the more amazing you are. And I didn't know it could happen because I believe in you so much. Okay, well, thank you. So let's kind of talk about one other thing before we kind of wrap this up. And, you start off with signing services.
Yes.
Now that you're doing direct business, and you're in Florida. And so, a lot of signing agents out there, okay, I'm a little nervous about going to direct from signing services. So let's talk a bit about, the transition from, because I know just recently you've kind of made the commitment, no more signing services. I'm 100% direct. So, but let's talk about more specifically though, the nerves, if there were any, about, kind of going into your first title company down in Florida, or, kind of talk about that transition. Because I know there's a lot of signing agents watching this who are nervous, like, okay, I've worked for signing services for 6 months. I'm ready for direct, but I'm not really ready for direct, So talk about your journey. How was your when you first marketed to somebody, talk about maybe your first networking event or whatever, just something that would help someone else kind of learn the journey.
Just knowing that for every 9 no's, you get a yes, right? Like every no I get, I'm like, oh, I'm that much closer to a yes, right to the next yes.
The loan signing system way, I love it, and like, I don't want to give away the course because I want to honor the investment that you students make, and so, these interviews are more about inspiring people what's possible. So, but what I think is really cool is, the fact that you are taking what you've learned in the course, you walk in there, you use the script, you use the tools you had, and it's really as simple as just kind of introducing yourself and not being your own worst enemy from the standpoint of like, I just sometimes just need to say hi. And
that's all I do. I just introduce myself. I've become I'll go to a networking event and I don't lead with who I am and what I do and I want you to hire me. I lead with who are you and what do you do?
That's right.
Genuinely.
It's a loan signing system way.
I genuinely want to know what these people do. And they're all realtors and they're starving, They're starving for listings and business. And so they're at a networking event because they want to connect. And so you can't be afraid to go to a networking event and feel like you're the only person there who's trying to make a living. Everyone there is. And so everyone there is making a concerted effort to get to know people that can help them get business. That's the point. So you can't be afraid and feel like you're the only one in the room trying to do, because everyone's in your shoes, everybody there. So I just make it a point to just get to know who's in there. I don't even bring up what I do, because then after you genuinely are interested in what it is that they do, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I need to figure out what this person does because she was so into me. I need to know what it is she does. And then it just naturally happens. I tell them what I do, and then I give them my card, and then it just rolls.
It rolls, and then you like I said, I mean, the most successful people in this world are implementers. They don't recreate the wheel, and so I just want to say thank you for just being a phenomenal example of what a loan signing system student is, and just using the tools provided and going out and just making a living that you are proud of. And so thank you for inspiring people that, you were nervous just like them. I think sometimes signing agents think that people who are getting direct business are just super flamboyant and have a ton of confidence, and they're just born salespeople. And the fact that you're saying that you're not, I think is inspiring.
I'm really nervous to be on this call with you. So
Trace, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. So, I usually ask the signing agents to give one big tip, but I think you've kind of said that one big tip, and that's like patience is a superpower.
And the farming, just not expecting too much, right? Just
patience is a
focusing on introducing yourself and getting as many business cards as you can that you can follow up with.
I love it. And so let's go into the next thing I ask of people, and that is, looking back a year ago that you are today, what was something you were super nervous as a brand new signing agent? Now you're like, why was I even nervous about that at all? So let's talk through that.
So I was always nervous when I would get a last minute signing, and I didn't get the docs until the last minute. Or if every now and then in the beginning, I would get a direct one, and they would say, okay, the docs will be here for you ready, right? They would be on the closing table, buyers and sellers there, and there are the docs. I've not even touched them yet. I mean, that freaked me out. And that was my biggest fear. And I realized there was something that you had said one time where, if you don't know a document, just read it. Just read it. So now, I just know that all I have to do is just calm down, take a deep breath. And if there's a document that I'm not familiar with, I don't hold myself to task to know every single thing. Like that's putting too much pressure on myself. And so I actually, in closings, I've said, something, I'm not familiar with this document. Just give me a moment. Let me look it over and see if we'll figure it out. I'm just a human being, and so I'm not nervous if I don't. So now, like, if there's docs from a lender in, I don't know, Timbuktu, and it's notary stuff from another state. I mean, I know Florida, but I don't know anybody else. I'm starting to know California, but I'm just honest. I can't be expected to know everything. So that was my biggest fear, and it's actually, what's the opposite of fear? I don't know. It's not even an issue.
I love it. Okay, so one last question to kind of wrap this up, because this is all about inspiring people to be great, to go out and get business. Can you talk through why you love going directly to escrow companies and title companies and not work for signing services? There's so many signing agents watching us right now who only work for signing services. And I want to know, from your perspective, why do you love going directly to title companies and escrow companies versus working for signing services?
More money, less work. More money, less work.
Easy peasy, right?
I mean, my best months, I've done smaller numbers, less signings, because they're more direct. So the more direct I do, the less closings I actually do, and the more money I make. So that's pretty amazing to me, so it's pretty simple.
And the very, very last question is, if Tracy can do this business as a single mother, as a cancer survivor, someone who, quote unquote, says it was a hot mess, do you believe that anybody can do this business? And I want you to kind of answer that question talking to another single mom, or somebody who thinks, or a cancer survivor who thinks, it's imploding, to use your word. I mean, what are some final words you can speak to someone who is in your shoes to inspire them to be great, to inspire them to be a signing agent?
Okay, I have something here. It's on my desk. Hold on, someone gave it to me. I'm gonna show it to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Just don't ever give up. That's it. Every day. And just keep trying. Like every day I wake up and I look to the sky and I say, I'm trying. Just keep trying. Just keep trying, whatever that is for you. Don't ever stop trying. You know, whatever that means to you, just don't stop trying and don't give up. And if you're a single mom, you know, it's because you live and die by those kids, you know. And this, you know, I had no idea this would be the perfect vehicle for me to take care of myself and my daughter, you know, and get to be that mom and be there for her. I mean, it gets hectic sometimes, of course, and it gets crazy because sometimes I don't know how to say no to the closings, right? But I'm getting better at that. You just can't give up and just keep trying every day.
I love it. And Tracy, I mean, you're going from a hot mess to an ambassador of the loan signing system.
Oh,
And so I'm excited to kind of announce and this webinar, this interview that you were looking at the Florida ambassador. I mean, she, you know, being an ambassador is so much more than just how much money one makes. It's about wanting to give back and inspire another set of signing agents. And why I
that's
bring that
crazy,
up.
Mark. That's just crazy to hear you say that out loud.
And the fact that you are looking and you're excited about the opportunity of helping other signing agents in the state of Florida, of showing them that they can do exactly what you do too every day. I just want to say thank you for accepting the role of ambassador. I'm honored. After this interview, I hope Florida understands how really, really blessed they are to have Tracy put in some of her time to help other signing agents get where you are. And I know that a signing service is right around the corner for you as well. I mean, so you have so much amazingness on your plate. I'm proud of you. I can't say that enough. And I hope you really know that I am just honored and blessed that you're part of the loan signing system family.
Well, Mark, I'm honored too, and I'm humbled, and you know, your vote of confidence really means a lot to me. Because sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, and then the next day, all of a sudden, I'm fine. So I really appreciate it, and I look forward to meeting all of the, you know, all the loan signing system people in the state of Florida. And so I don't not just want to like help everybody, and from what I've learned is I'm looking forward to learning, you know, from everybody too, and growing together and figuring out how to just make a meaningful living for ourselves, you know, like take care of our families and take care of ourselves in a meaningful way.
That's right.
So I'm looking forward to giving and receiving.
I love it. What they say is the best way to learn is to teach. And now that I've teach so many signing agents, I can really say that's the truth. I have my mind has gone. Everything about this has been amazing, and I'm excited for you to experience that in the state of Florida. So thank you for being a loan signing ambassador. Thank you
You're
for
welcome. Thank
literally
you.
being the definition of relentless.
Oh yeah.
You are the definition of relentless. I am so excited to see where your business grows. I know this is just a tip of the iceberg, Tracy. You're absolutely amazing. Thank you again, and thank you for spending a little bit of time with everybody today.
You're welcome. Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Bye.